Hello everyone and welcome to this video here, How to Amazon here, Hayden Davidson. In this video I'm going to show you how you can actually read a KEEPA graph and sort of judge the sales from a graph that no longer has a sales rank. Now obviously this is best to my knowledge how I do it and how I think you could do it. You're never guaranteed to know the sales from a sales rank, but let me tell you first, there's many bonuses and upsides for a KEEPA graph losing its sales rank. Usually you think to yourself, oh, that's annoying. Now I can't see how many sales. But think about it. How many people, I know this is true because I used to do this and a lot of sellers do this. Many sellers will ignore a very profitable, good item just because they can't see the sales rank. The sales rank has disappeared, so therefore it's too much of a risk for them and they ignore it. This is a golden opportunity to possibly get a really good replenishable item because the sellers are going to be a lot less on that graph, okay? It's just going to happen. People do not like it. People get scared, okay? So let me show you how I start to judge a ghost sales rank, an invisible sales rank when you cannot see how many sales that graph is getting, okay? Now, the most important thing to do here is to look back at the history of that graph, okay? Look back at the history, right? And all you've got to do is compare the prices, compare the sales price and then the sales rank from the past, okay? So let's look at the last year, okay? If we look at the last year here, we can see that for most of the year, it was selling okay. Obviously, we had a bit of a blip here, but I think that's because we were out of stock. But apart from that, this isn't a super fast selling item, but around about £20, £20.99, you can see that the sales rank up and down is between 100 and sort of, 30 and 100, okay? So it's not the fastest selling, but with low sellers, this is a very replenishable item. You can then see here that the sales the sellers really increased. It was probably on a deal sheet, for example. So the sellers really increased. All the sellers dropped off here. And I bet you the reason they dropped off was because this was December time here, and this was Christmas, and this is a toy. So the sellers just sold out. And now you can see the sellers are dropping back on. Okay, I'm not worried about that being an IP claim. A, because of the brand that it is. B, because it was Christmas time. And C, because the sellers are coming back on here. And usually they wouldn't necessarily if there's been an issue with that brand. So now you can see that the price is going down slightly, but the sellers are actually coming back on. Now, why are they coming back on without being able to see a sales rank? That's probably because they've done the same due diligence which I'm doing now. Okay, it's more than likely. There's no reason, because this is such an old item, it's more than likely you're going to be able to tell how many sales roughly this graph should be getting. Now, as I say, you can't guarantee this, but you should be able to tell roughly how many this is getting looking at the history. There's no reason why it shouldn't be, because it's even cheaper than it was here when it was selling at this price, okay? And that was selling fine, okay? At £18, £17.99, this is probably selling a little bit faster than what it is here. So you're doing a comparison. You're comparing how fast it is, okay? But that's not enough data to go by. And that's really good that we've got this, okay, to look at the rest of the data here. So let's zoom in. Let's zoom in on another time last year, okay, around about the same time. So we're in March here, last year. Price, £18.69, similar to the £18.99 price here, okay? But what we can see here from last year, when we could see a sales rank, this is a very consistent sales rank. This is a very replenishable item. You can see this sales rank has been pretty good at the £18 mark, pretty good. And obviously, yeah, I mean, it's gone up here to 30,000 and, 30,000 there and 34,000 there. But generally, it's a very consistent item. Now, let's look at the last year. It has definitely lost its momentum a bit here. The sales rank's higher, but there's no reason why it shouldn't be in between what it was for the history, because we've got 3,638 days of history here of this item selling pretty well. So there's no reason that this shouldn't be selling now. I would say it's selling the same as it is here, if not slightly better than it was here. Now the only issue here which makes me think that possibly it's not selling as well is because this item has actually lost its buy box. So that means that there's further due diligence you need to do to see how well it's sold without a buy box. So this doesn't have a buy box here. No buy box, no buy box, no buy box, no buy box, okay? But the sales are still coming, they're just slower, okay? So you need to bear that in mind when you're making your purchasing decision. In this case, if it was me, I'd probably buy about 5 max to test the item. Test the item, okay, in this situation, because the buy box has gone, okay? So that's how I do my due diligence, and I would personally test 5 of this item. You've got to bear in mind all the comparables. You've got to bear in mind the updated changes of there being no buy box at the moment, etc. So I hope that video has helped on how you can look at a ghost KEEPA sales rank, and I'll see you in the next one.